A 9-month-old baby boy is pulled from the rubble days after Venezuela was hit by twin earthquakes, the strongest in a century. Moments later, U.S. search and rescue teams working alongside local firefighters pull the infant's mother out. Miraculously, both have minor injuries. In another city along Venezuela's northern coast, cheers erupt as Spain's military rescue a man, a very grateful man, from the wreckage of another collapsed building in Maiquetía.
¿Cómo estás tú? ¿Estás al lado del armario?
Less than 3 kilometers away in La Guaira, members of a specialized canine unit from Colombia locate an 11-year-old boy. Using a specialized scanner, they determine he's behind 3 meters of rubble. He too is pulled to safety with only a broken arm. The UN says more than 1,400 buildings are damaged or destroyed in Venezuela. In many cases, it's fallen to families and volunteers to pull survivors and bodies from the debris. Now, specialized crews from around the world, including Argentina, Qatar, and Germany, are fanning out across hard-hit La Guaira and Caracas to help with search and rescue efforts on the ground, as exhausted Venezuelans turn their frustration against their government for failing to meet this moment of crisis.
We don't have any heavy machinery. A huge number of rescue workers have come to help and they're giving it their all, but we need machinery. Because all this debris is heavy, they can't move it on their own. They just can't.
Adding to the anger and confusion, the government has closed outside access to La Guaira. So as not to hinder emergency vehicles and official rescue teams. Regular Venezuelans who want to help now have to line up and register as volunteers before they can enter.
And we can now talk to Volker Pellet. He's the German ambassador to Venezuela. Ambassador, how would you describe the situation that you are seeing on the ground in Venezuela right now?
Good morning. I would say you have to separate. There are two realities. There's one reality in Caracas, a huge city, more than 5 million people, which has been affected. But the real catastrophe happened on the coast, which is about 1 hour away from here. La Guaira, you've probably heard these names, which is like a disaster, apocalyptic scenario. This is really a completely different reality there. It is also different on the coast itself. Approaching this horrible site, for kilometers, you see very little destruction. And then all of a sudden, from one moment to the other, there's total destruction. We have to ask seismic experts why that happened. But this is really shocking to see. I've been there last night. Really a dire situation.
Now, we are getting reports here that many Venezuelans feel abandoned by their own government. There are not enough rescue workers, they say, and the sheer scale of the disaster is just slowly emerging, as you've just described. I mean, does the government in Caracas have a handle on the situation, would you think?
Well, I don't want to comment on a political situation, but we have to admit this government has been, this land has been under a government for the last 20 years, which was not able to provide basic services. And this shows right now clearly as well. But there is the desire of the government to assist, to coordinate. It's a chaotic situation. I think in many countries it would be problematic. But if you take into account public services that have not been perfect for the last 20 years, you can imagine how the situation is.
But what role does international help now play?
It's a tremendous and extremely important role that the international help workers play, international community. We have participation of 25 nations worldwide. We have like 3,000 aid workers here. The focus is on search and rescue, as always in such a disaster. I've been to Haiti, so I've had some experience on this, trying to save lives. But unfortunately, now after 3-4 days into this catastrophe. The chances to find victims are diminishing every second, but they are doing a great job. They're doing whatever they can. They work without resting in order to help and save human lives.
Now, you've mentioned help from 25 nations has arrived now. How's this international help coordinated? Is it coordinated by the government, and are they doing a good job in coordinating this?
It is always extremely complicated to coordinate international assistance, but there's a very successful effort by the United Nations. Also, the European is doing a good job in liaison clearly with the government. I'd say the focus is on the international focus. You have to see these teams from all the nations. They know each other. They've experienced ways of cooperating. They are in a camp together from where they start. Extremely close cooperation, for example, between the German THW and Spanish experts. So they coordinate among themselves as soon as their zone of search and rescue has been assigned. Once this is done, they can work on their own.
Now, what's Germany's role? How is Germany helping and contributing?
I think without exaggerating, our Minister of Defense, from the first moment, he made a clear statement: Germany is going to help, and we deployed 6 huge Airbus A400, just showing the plane, military aircrafts. Impressive when you see them landing here in Caracas. We brought in about 150 rescue workers, search and rescue, tons of material. I think Germany is playing a very effective and very prominent role in this rescue operation and this support operation.
Volker Pellet there, Germany's ambassador to Venezuela. Thank you very much.
All right, let's bring in Loyce Pace, Regional Director for the Americas from the International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, joining us from Panama today. Great to have you on DW News. So we've seen some images there in our report, which are quite uplifting to see people being rescued. But what is the most immediate need on the ground right now, according to your colleagues who are there in Venezuela?
Well, we're still hopeful about the search and rescue efforts. It's just so heartening to see the work of people who have descended on Venezuela to provide that assistance, people who are quite capable and qualified, including our volunteers. And so that's wonderful that we're still finding people. Unfortunately, we still have to think about not just rescue, but recovery efforts. And so that will soon be another priority for us, particularly the dignified detection and removal of any bodies or remains of loved ones. And so I know we don't want to think or speak about that, but that is something that we are trying to be mindful of as a Red Cross movement. I think beyond that, there really has been an access issue, if I'm being honest. The team on the ground reported that even though they were there to help in Guaira and to send more staff, more supplies, they were stuck in traffic for several hours coming in and out because there are just people everywhere. And of course, there are many people trying to help. There are many people seeking help. And so I think the government, along with organizations, is really trying to establish some order so that we can provide that help that people so sorely need.
Now, Loyce, your colleague Stephanie, who I spoke to yesterday at the Red Cross, told me that getting aid into the country isn't the issue. And you've just said it there, that it's, on the ground there are problems. And we're hearing that, there's power issues, that it's out, transport, hospitals have all been hit very hard. So can you tell us how much the damaged infrastructure is slowing down the response for those trying to help people there in Venezuela?
Well, very much so. I mean, you have a country like Venezuela that was already under so much strain, its health systems and everything else. Fortunately, our Venezuela Red Cross, they run a number of hospitals that have remained operational, and they've since been able to set up a couple of first aid facilities as well as a field hospital. So I think that's helping. But, we have to be sure that we can get the staff and supplies in as well. And again, those people have started to enter the country, and it's our hope that it'll relieve a lot of that pressure and allow them to really provide those health services to people who are still being pulled from the rubble and others who require it. It's important, though, to think also about the need not just for healthcare, but psychosocial support. And I know I've talked about this before, but it just remains something that we are sensing from the population. And as you said, a population that is just becoming not just anxious, but angry. And so really having people who can fan out and provide that comfort, that care in a very personable manner is really what our volunteers are equipped to do as well.
Now, Loyce, as you were speaking there, we were just seeing on our screen images, satellite images of the before and after. And I mean, it is pretty shocking. And we've seen those images as well of how bad things are there. And it's very important what you're saying there about, the difficulty of this situation from, obviously retrieving looking for the bodies of people who've unfortunately fallen victim to this earthquake, and also helping those who are still trapped. Now, the situation for many people in Venezuela was already pretty difficult before this earthquake. So can you give us a sense of how much harder that's making your job?
Yeah, well, it's, I will say that I'll answer that question a little bit differently in saying it's helpful that the Red Cross has been there for 130 years. We have this well-established relationship with the government of Venezuela. We always have. And so that has sort of literally paved the way for us. We had, government escort getting to the facilities. We've been able to enter our products and people. And yet, I think this is going to be a long road ahead for all of us, knowing that Venezuela already had to build back from quite a bit over time. And this is only going to extend that period that they have for recovery.
Loyce, really great to have you on the show. Really appreciate it. It's very important to hear what's happening there on the ground in Venezuela. Loyce Pace, Regional Director for the Americas of the Red Cross. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pablo.